What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And tonight we are going to do an overall market report and determine what direction the market is going on, get an assessment of the action, and I'm going to show you how I look at the market and give you some tips on what will help you to make a better determination of which direction that we are headed so you can have a firm grip on what's happening and make better flipping decisions. Now, one thing that I have heard recently, a lot of people have been saying, well, the market's going down and I don't know why. What's going on with the market? What's happening? Or people will say that this news or that news is causing the market to tank and prices to go down. And what I say is, show me the chart first, and then I'll drum up some news that matches that chart. Most people say, show me the news and I'll tell you what the chart should look like. And that's a mistake. So while we're coming up with all these different reasons of why the market should be down, and some of those points are valid, like the MTL coming or a new big drop coming, I'm going to tell you right now, the charts look normal. We have 4 phases of chart development. Let me draw this out if you don't know what this is. Now, first, we have a drop. An item comes out and it comes up and then it kind of comes down and we start to languish. And this is the dog days where the price is hanging down low, laying on the ground like a lazy dog, not kicking up any fuss or stirring up any action. And then all of a sudden we go from phase 1, this is the accumulation phase, we go into consolidation. What happens there is we see a little bump up in price like this. Everything starts to come up and we get a little bit more volatility. That is stage 2, and we're going to call that consolidation, all right, where there's more buying than selling going on. The next thing you know, we go into this parabolic run, and sometimes there'll be a straight jump to the top, and sometimes you'll get a couple of peaks, and then we have this parabolic move, and we call this phase 3, the markup phase. And that's where we go all the way up here to the top, and we have a blow off top. And that's what we call the change in direction that happens all of a sudden, where we reach this peak and then price starts to come back down. And then this is what takes us into phase 4, where we see the price getting whipsawed, where it goes down, then it jumps up, then it goes down, then it jumps up violently. And then it starts to settle and we keep on moving down. This is the distribution phase. And that's where you've got a lot of selling going on, and then it starts to slow down, but prices just continue to sink down. So that is stage 4, which is distribution. Now, where are we right now? I believe that we are currently in this stage right here in distribution. And so this is why I'm saying that during this time that we are in distribution and prices are going down, that's where everybody is saying, well, it's MTL, well, it's negative news on the market, or it's people getting restricted and not getting taken care of, or it's the impending new drop system that hasn't happened yet, or promises being broken, or whatever. So we come up with all these reasons to justify why this trend is going down, when in reality, all this is the natural 4 phases that the market goes in: accumulation, consolidation, markup, the blow off top, distribution. So I don't really worry and think that, okay, we have uncertainty and things are going wrong here because prices are sliding down. No, this is the phase that we have to have before we get into the next cycle, where prices settle down, and as soon as they settle down and they lay down low like a dog, then we can start it all over again, and we'll go 1 and then a consolidation, and then the next boom, where we have the markup phase. Now, the good news is within this market with VeVe, these phases happen really fast. If you're talking cryptocurrency as a whole, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all of the top 20, it takes the crypto market like 3 to 5 years to go through these 4 phases. It takes the stock market historically 13 years. And that's been happening since the 1900s. Well, since 10, 20, whenever the stock market first started, we have seen 13-year cycles over time throughout history. And I've read several books about this, and I started stock trading in 1999, I believe, when we had the dot-com bubble burst. And I watched after we had the blow-off top in the year 2000. I said, I'm going to come back to this in 2013. And what happened? The market started to kick up again. Well, then I discovered crypto in 2017 and got super excited when I noticed that these cycles were happening within like a year, where you would go through your complete accumulation phase. This first phase, this would happen in a year. Then the next one would happen within a year. The third one within 1 year. Like from 2017, I jumped in right about here where we were in consolidation in September, October, and I got to experience the big blow off top when we hit 20,000. And then we had distribution that went on for about a year. And then we had this laying down low like a dog for about a year. We ran into the next cycle. So be excited, because we're seeing all 4 cycles complete in 1 year. It's ridiculous. So when are we going to hit this next cycle? I would assume, and this is just rough, don't take this as financial advice, but I would assume that after we get done with the current distribution phase, we're going to go into accumulation and consolidation and have our next parabolic swing. Maybe March, April, May. It could be within, say, plus or minus a month or two from April, mid-April, because last year that's when we saw the parabolic peak. And then we had another one that happened in the summer. We had another one that happened in November. So guess what? We're coming up on the, 4th peak within the time that I've even been involved. I think we had 4 in the last year. I'd have to look back at the charts to tell you for sure. Now, I'm going to show you how I look at the market and assess the situation without the chart. And the way that I do this, I want you to do it too. I watch prices every day and I memorize key items. I know what their prices are, and I can just look down this list and tell you where we are by the certain items that I watch the most closely, okay? So I'm just going to rip through here. I might not mention the ones that are your favorites, but I'm going to tell you what, this is how I can get an assessment without pulling up the chart. Number 71, Batman. I watch that one all the time. It peaked out at 400. We're at 230. It's been creeping down. The next one I look at is Big Barda, which is now at 950. I knew that 1,000 is a critical point. We were way above it. We crept down to 1,000. Now we are below. Gary Frank is another one that I look at, sitting at 310. It was peaked out, I think, above 5, close to 600. Ice King is one that I watch. Ice King hit 400. We're at 169, but now we've been hovering around this price for like the last week or two. So I'm thinking that we're close to being done with distribution. Here's Ultraman Ace down to 1550. We saw the peak at 2200, and then it was hovering at 1800, then 17, now 1550. So it's slowing down. Tells me distribution is close to being done. Ghostbusters one logo that went all the way to 1200. And it's still coming down, 379. It's not quite done, but this could be the bottom, could be close to it, because I thought 500 was going to be the bottom, but it's still dipping down to 379. We know Finn Mertens was way above 200. We're approaching 100. It's sitting at 110. Robin, we know that it, peaked above 300, I think. And now the slippage is slowing down at 180. I'm watching Marceline at 765, and I think Marceline has leveled off. Ultraman has leveled off, finding a base at 375. I don't see much slippage there. Catwoman is leveling off in the high 200s. Rewind Collective logo I thought was going to go below 1,000. It did drop below 1,000, and now it's coming back up. So that's one that's ticking up, which is an indication that we might be nearing the end of distribution. No Tech hoverboard. 50 is the middle point. We were above that before. We dipped down to 48, but it's not going much further below that. I'll be looking to see, what the price does on no tech when we have the next big drop. If it doesn't go much below 50, I'll know we are very close to the bottom. Pitbull hoverboard is also bouncing from like 289 to 300. It's just about done. Backstab 1249. It's slowing down with the dip. Let's scroll on down to, here it is, Spider-Man hanging out at 540. It's still coming down a little bit. It hasn't reached the bottom. I thought the bottom would be around 600, and it's still pulling back a little bit. The Ultimate Animated at 64,000, it was at 59, so it's bumping up. That's also an indication we might be close. Dr. Doom was below 1,000, and now it's coming up. Mr. Fantastic was at, what, 40? Coming up just a tad. Captain America, the common, it has not dropped below 100, I don't believe. And we've been sitting at 107. When I do the price reports, I'm going to show you this. But for right now, this is the example of how we determine where the market is without looking at the chart. In the next video, we'll break down the charts. The punch coming down. We're below 200 and it's still dipping. 185 is a little bit lower than what I remember seeing. The 1 to 1,000 USS Enterprise at 134 is starting to level off. Frankenfat 61, it's leveling off. The glider is up. We were at 399. It's coming back up to 475. Another clue that we might be close to the bottom, because some of these are still slipping. Some have found a bottom and are creeping up. Okay, moving right along. Harley Quinn, I watched this one on the number 12 uncommon. It likes to hover around 110, and I think it's leveled off. The stamps, the common is what I look at, and the uncommon at 117, they've found a bottom point. The cheapest of the Marvel Mighties are leveling off now. We're not seeing any of these below 25 bucks. Now the Golden Moments, of course, is a big tip off. Skateboard is up at 1290. It was lower than that. Elsa ticking down. Pizza Planet Truck at 14. It's up a tick because I think it did hit into the 13s. Wally had dipped down to 11 and change. It is at 1229. Partner Statue is still languishing, 37,500. I think that's close to the lowest point in the last week. Let's keep on moving here and find another one that I'm looking at. 229 on Hawk Girl. It's found a bottom. It's not dipping much below that. Defense Mode, uncommon at 80.69. That has been pretty solid. The Rare at 120. I don't know if it's going to dip much further below that. By the way, check it out. Voltron, baby. I'm still bullish about Voltron. I love my Voltron collection. It's one of my favorites. More on that later, though. All right, what else do I look at here? Let's just pluck a few off that are significant. Metallo at 229 has leveled off. It touched at 199 and it came up. The Todd has been slipping. That's one that is not done yet. We were hovering at 9,400 and we've recently dropped to 8,900. So again, that means that we're close because we still have some that are slipping. Mira is leveling off, 141. And Belina, this is one I have a stack of these. At 102, it's slipping down, and I'm thinking that 100 is going to be the low point unless we get a really big dive bomb that happens when the MTL kicks in. Carmine Robin, 1899, has leveled off. Dick Sprang Batman, 276, has leveled off. Jim Lee Joker dipped down below 1,000 and came back up, 1085, looking like it's close to a bottom. Ultraman 7, leveling off around 400. Supergirl, dipping. It was down as low as 840, coming up a slight tick, but it's still in a downtrend. Dragon Girl, common, 168. That is a bottom. Okay, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is liking this area of the 230s or 240s, so that is a good indication that we are close. Buttercup at 269, very solid price action on Buttercup. Lady Rainicorn is dipping down. I thought 600 would be it. Now we're at 580. Batgirl dipping down to 149. It could go a little bit further. Honeybutt is at 174. I haven't seen it go below that price in a long time, in several months. So this might be at a bottom. Slimer at 175 might be the new bottom. Superman, we had the talk of the big pump. It fizzled out after getting to 6,400 and is in a downtrend, 43.99, and it was just a tad below that and might be trying to level off. Let's just scroll on down and get some more significant ones. The Spider-Man rare, I also look at that, 11.95. I was wanting this one to drop down below 1,000, and it's not looking like it wants to. Invisible, leveling off at 51. The Thing was at 40, but it's poking its head up to 45 now. Yucky at 230, finding a nice bottom. Sugar Bear likes the bottom at 100. I have not seen it break 100. Let's keep on going here. Saffin's Mask at 83 is finding a bottom. Captain Carter looking strong. It was down to 275 and it's coming up to 308. We may have seen the bottom there already. Alligator Loki. I bought a bunch of these at 30 and then sold them for a double. I have one left, but at 47, it doesn't look like it's coming back down to its low point. And there's the common Day of the Dead Child at 117, rocking a base. It's not going too far below that. Here's the Avengers logo at $12.99, slipping down just a little bit. Iron Man was down to 2,000 or just a little bit above, and now it's coming up. R2-D2 is hanging out at 76, 7,700. Might be at a bottom. I don't expect that to go down much further. All right, now here's a good indication of a bottom being met. Rare Storm at 119 and the Secret Rare back up to 1,800. It did dip down to 1,400. I was hoping it would go below 1,000, and I don't think we're going to get that. I'm still kicking myself for not picking one up for 600 gems. There's Battle Mode at 318, leveling off. The Common Lions Unlimited. Oh, yeah. 69. Now, that's a steal, okay? 69, I believe, is the low point, and we're starting to flatten out. That's the thing. So when I look at these, I just know in my mind. I can just see it right now where we're at. Faybach at 350, leveling off. Amanda Connor was down to about 1,000, up to 1,229. There's more evidence that a bottom might be in. Let me jump down. Brian Boland is dipping down to 825. I thought we would have a base at 900, but it's coming down. Joe Mad at 1299 is up. It was in the 1100s. Harley Quinn Babstar, I've got a couple of 3 digits of these, and 500 is the base. I don't see it going below that. I think 500 is the absolute base. The Batman Who Laughs, I've got a stack, 240. We've been hanging around at that price for quite some time. Bruce Timm was in the 600s, and it's coming up, 707. The Rise of Ultraman, the 2D Secret Rare at 838. It looked like it was going to hold in the 900 to 1,000 range, and we have dipped down. All right, let's just keep on going. Visible Lab I also look at. 200 is the borderline. If we go below that, I have to pick up another one. Smorkin' Red finding a base at 128. I don't see it going below that point. Visible Neon at 370. It's starting to tick up. What else can we look at here? There's the Captain America Uncommon at 94. It went below 100. Will it go lower? I don't know. It's leveled off right now. There's the Borg Cube 1-to-1. Still dipping down a little bit. It was holding strong at 130. Now it's at 127. Borg Cube 1-to-1,000 at 53. I was hoping it would get back to retail, and it's leveling off. 2-Ton Sam 54. It's leveling off. A lot of these in the Serial Killers collection are hanging on. Now, Labicorn dipped down into the high 200s, and now it's back to 314. I think we're going to see it start to rise a little bit steadily. Harley Quinn Uncommon at 89. It was above 100, 115. It's still dipping down. It's not done with the dip yet. There's Homer and Bart, $16.99. It was at a flat 1,600, starting to come up. C-3PO dipping down to $37.98. I thought it was holding strong at 4,100. Those are indications that the slide is not quite done. Storm Common up to 80. It was down into the 60s and is making a strong move up. Valdo's Case still in the 50s, still below retail. Wake up, people. For all of you that are frustrated that you can't get stuff, here it is, below the retail value. Hint, hint. All right, now let's get to the neons. I look at the Coke Globe with the bear is the one that I go by. Johnny Jig at 598. It was down to 550. It's starting to come up. Happy Whistle starting to come up. Oh, boy. Moving right along. Starfire at 1298 is still dipping. It was at 1500 solid and then started to tick down. J. Lee Batman at 513 is starting to level off. BMO still ticking down, 7480. Not bad, but the DeLorean 1-to-1 coming up. Dipped down into the 800s and now is up to 925. In fact, I don't know what's up with the DeLorean static. The price has been coming up. The common is up. It was in the 80s. Now it's at 96. Dick Sprain Joker dips below 500 and is hanging out in the high 40s. Darwin Cook up to 198. It was down to 167, and now it's starting to come back up. Becky, my two Beckys are hanging out at 1900, finding a nice base. Lumpy Space leveled off at 110. I think Lumpy Space Princess, she's looking to take a break and hang out. Marty's hoverboard was around 200 and is starting to tick up. All right, let me get a couple more here. Steve Rogers at 110. It's still sliding a little bit. It's not done. Sam Wilson down to 60. It could hit into the 50s. Captain America Animated at 720. It might drop below 700. And then here is the USS Enterprise at 544. It's coming on down. We are still in distribution on the Enterprise. By the way, Secret Rare Captain America at 3300. It's still sliding down. Okay, what else do we have? I think I've got maybe a couple more that I wanted to hint on. Oh, there it is. Wonder Woman is up. We were in the 600s. It's moved up to 735. The Polar Bear leveling off at 136. Shark Bite is leveling off in the 380 range. And then here's my Invisible Women. What a steal. Below retail on the uncommon. Leveled off at 48. Animated at 255, leveled off around that range. Secret Rare is down to 880 and holding strong. And the common is up at 48. It was down as low as 45, so this might be the break point there. Okay, last but not least, well, the lenticulars, and then I want to hit the cover girls. So Pluto down to 850, Mickey down to 550, Donald Duck ticking down slowly now, down to 720, and Minnie at 435. Daisy Duck was at 420 and moving back up at 455. Spider-Woman here was down to what, 44 gems, and now it's ticking up to 52. Nice indication. Ghost Spider dipped into the 90s range and is back above 100. Spider-Man, the Secret Rare, 2099. It was at 2600. And dipped all the way down. It's still ticking down. Goblin was under 600. It's moving back up. All right, let me just get it. Here we go. Here we go. 244 on Harley Quinn. Ultra rare. It's leveled off. Wonder Woman, 148. It's leveled off. I might pick up another one. Batgirl is moving up. We were in the high 50s, and now we're at 64.98. Supergirl leveled off at 200, moving up. It's at 205. So that is the market, and there's Daisy back to 1700. Lady and the Tramp a tick below 12. So overall, you can see it here. There's no reason to panic. And when you think back to where prices were in October, you really should not be complaining. And remember, we're spoiled because we get tons of volatility in the VeVe Collectibles market. You have to have a lot more patience to see these gains in crypto, and even more patience to see these gains in the stock market. So remember that. Please remember that. And don't panic. Don't be afraid. Don't complain when we see these cycles going down, because they only last for 3 or 4 months. Let me know if you got value out of this video, if you enjoy the overall market reports. And next up, I'm going to have strategy for the new people. I'm going to show you exactly what to do and point out some good purchases. And I'm going to teach you the psychology of people that don't win and leverage themselves in this market. Okay, there's a pattern that I see going on that has been repeating itself. And when you see it, you'll be like, wow, it's shocking. So wait for it. It will be excellent content, and then we will run through the charts. That's about all I got for now. And last, but certainly not least, let me see if I can find my list here, because I want to shout out some new countries here. We now have the Netherlands in the house. We have Malaysia. We have Peru. We have Belize and Brazil. Welcome aboard. All the new countries watching from all over the world. We're here to have a good time, to make friendships and make this world a better place. All right, thanks for watching, and you are a champ if you made it all the way through this one, because we've been droning on for nearly 30 minutes. Well, this is Carlton. That's all I've got, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm out.